Well, hello, everybody. So I'm not coming into my video, but my signal sucks here. Hope y'all doing good tonight. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I've got Mount Gape 8, Row, and him. Gentlemen, tonight we're going to talk about what we actually have to do as a country, the United States. And people need to understand the agreement and the mutual defense treaty.
Brandon, you are real body, real bad. We kicked him out of his own stream.
What's up, gentlemen?
How you doing, Easy?
How you guys doing?
Not too bad. Just enjoying an adult beverage.
Oh, me too.
Woke up at 3 o'clock this morning. Went to work at 6:30 and got home, and I thought I'd have myself a drink. Brandon, are you back? He's muted. What's your weather doing your way there, Easy?
Sunny and about 70, 73.
At 70 here. 2 nights ago, we were supposed to get to 26.
We're in the 40s at night. It's nice. Good sleeping weather. I turned off the air conditioning. I turned off the heat. I have no heat, no AC going at all. It's nice and comfortable. Perfect time of the year.
Yeah, it's brisk in the morning, but the afternoons it's 70 degrees and just beautiful out.
Yes. Very low humidity. It's nice.
They're starting to harvest beets and harvest corn around here, so there's getting some dust in the air.
Ah, yes.
Everybody there's every year somebody gets killed. Gets hit by a beet truck, either that or a train hits a beet truck because they jet across the tracks.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing my new shirt here, Smokey the Bear, but it says only you can prevent tyranny. Hopefully Brandon can get his audio figured out because I couldn't understand anything he was saying.
All I heard was our three names and then just that's about it.
I think he was talking to us like we were babies.
Hemi, how you doing?
Doing great. Thanksgiving weekend. So just finished filling my belly with turkey dinner. And
oh, that's right. It's a month.
Trimmings.
Yeah, you guys are a month early.
Yes, sir.
So you slaughtered the Indians a month before we did?
Well, somebody had to do it, right?
Well, happy Canadian Thanksgiving, Amy.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
Every yellow jacket and wasp in the county is trying to get into every house and garage everywhere they can right now.
Yeah, I killed a few last week.
I left the shop door open at work, and it was pretty nice. And all of a sudden, I look up, and we've got a pretty high ceilings in our shop. You know, they're probably 20
You got to get that
20 feet.
that raid. It shoots about 40 feet. It's like
Just hits them and they just fall.
They just fall right down. It's like anti-aircraft guns from World War II.
Yeah, they're getting pretty aggressive. I got a heavy duty fly swatter at work. Boy, you take them a couple good whacks, they get a little pissy.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine.
Well, I hope Brandon's audio comes through because pretty serious topic he wants to discuss.
Well, we're live. We are live.
We're live. Yeah. I think he's having connection issues though. He keeps jumping in and out.
Should we all just disconnect and wait for him to go live again? Maybe it's the link.
I don't know. Well, I think he's still going. Yeah, we're still counting. We're still live.
No, we're still live. But what I'm saying is, should we all just jump out?
No.
No, he's coming back on. It looks like, hopefully. He's got the circle of death going though. Well, if I'd have known it was your guys' Thanksgiving, I'd have called up Dak and wished him happy Thanksgiving. There he is.
Hello.
Hey, Rad, how you doing?
Good. Good to see everybody. Eric, Mouth, Hemi.
How you doing, Rad? Good to see you.
Good.
Yeah.
Yo, Brandon's paying his dinner tab. Remember, Brandon. Tell her you'll be coming on down her back now, you hear?
He's dealing with a lot lizard.
Hey, can you guys hear me now? Great.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Fuck, I'm so sorry about that. I was going to do it from Denny's. Hamster and I fucking streamed from in there. But then I had to wait for all the slow ass motherfuckers to get my tip or get my check.
Did you give them just the tip?
Yeah. Fuck. Anyways, I truly apologize for making you all wait around like that. We need to understand that the treaty obligations that the United States has are what makes it so we go to war with people. And I'm sure that a lot of you understand that already, but we don't have a mutual defense treaty with Israel. We don't have a mutual defense treaty with Ukraine. We don't have a mutual defense treaty with Taiwan. We do, however, have a mutual defense treaty with Korea. And in fact, we're still in a state of war, but in a ceasefire with North Korea.
Correct.
All right. So we have spent billions and billions, with Israel being the largest recipient of our foreign aid. To this point, Israel receives $3.8 billion a year from us. Right? 3.8 billion. And they're not even in a war. What do you think is going to happen if we have to start funding their war too, that they're having with Hamas now?
How about we follow the money where it went from Obama and Biden to where? 6 billion?
Oh, yeah.
Iran.
That went Iran. It sure did.
And Iran and Saudi Arabia are the biggest funders of Hamas.
Yep.
Yes.
But that 6 billion was for prisoner exchange and also for humanitarian efforts.
Don't you mean it was a fucking ransom we paid?
Yeah, it was a ransom.
That's like
Yeah,
when
that's nice way of saying humanitarian efforts.
yeah, that's what Clinton said with the all the nuclear technology that they gave North Korea. It was for humanitarian aid so that they can have power. They promised not to enrich uranium.
Well, Clinton also promised the Ukrainians in the Treaty of Budapest that we would protect them if anything bad happened. But that was
Right.
an agreement.
That was the agreement. But remember something, George Bush.
It's not a treaty.
Right, but George Bush Sr., Ronald Reagan, and Clinton, when he first took office, all said that NATO would not expand 1 inch east of Germany.
Yep.
And all they've done is expand NATO and expand the aid and expand the military bases.
Yeah.
It's insane.
But it's all the devil's in the details. That's how these motherfuckers get around this shit. They promise the moon and the stars, and then they don't have a policy mechanism in place to hold the next administration or even their own administration
In check.
to the course of action that they promised. You have to have a treaty to do that. An agreement, as soon as the ink is dry, it can be changed.
Of course. I guarantee you within the next 2 weeks, Biden's going to try to get like billions of dollars for Israel.
Well, the fleet, our fucking Mediterranean fleet is
It's
on
already
the
on
move.
alert. Yes.
Already.
It's already moving over.
With the blue-haired in the safe space soldiers that I'm scared. It's all what do they call that word? What's the word when you position yourself and to show defiance? It's we got an idiot beat as a commander in chief, and out of this he'll probably send another 300 billion to Ukraine.
At least.
He'll put a package together for Israel, then Ukraine, and some other stupid shit.
But meanwhile, our bridges are crumbling, our buildings are crumbling.
Our people are being put out of their fucking rest homes so we can make room for illegal aliens.
Oh, you saw that in New York? Yeah.
Well, Chicago's got a hotel downtown. I stayed there. Actually, next to his Courtyard Marriott. It's called the One Chicago. Last week, they brought in 2,500 people downtown, there's 2,500 Venezuelans and Colombians that came from Texas, and they're living in this hotel. I got a buddy down there that said, look, they're everywhere, and they're in front of Dunkin' Donuts. They're ruining crime. It's just out of control. Chicago can't handle it. And it's going to keep going. Now they're telling Biden to close the borders. These liberal bureaucrats are telling him to close the borders. Who said that? I wonder who.
Well, I think DeSantis and Abbott were absolute geniuses. The way to get problem solved is to make your problem their problem.
Absolutely. No, I mean, they're going to keep sending it all over. Let them deal with it. They want them and let them deal with it.
Well, and then Biden signed that deal the other day to give 750,000 Venezuelans work visas for 18 months if you were here before July 1st, I think.
Yeah, because we all know they're honestly going to just come and say our 18 months is up and leave, because they all,
They're all such good law-abiding citizens that came across our border illegally.
Well, did you see that video where they showed that reporter talking? I can't remember what country the guy was from, but he had basically a credit card given to him that gets money put on it by old Uncle George Soros.
Look, the simple idea is this: they want these people here. They're going to push for amnesty, and the grand goal is to get these people voting Democrat. Like, whether you like it or not, the United States, as we know it, is going to collapse. I mean, the train is off the rails. I always love when they say, "Well, we're 33 trillion in debt." No, you idiot. No, we're almost 200 trillion in debt. We can't even afford anything.
That's just 33 trillion is just the credit cards. There's another 200 in the liabilities and everything.
Yeah.
Well, there's something. Let's go back to the topic at hand tonight, which is international affairs. I know we've got some fucked up shit at home, but these wars, if we have them, they're not mandated. These are wars of choice. If they fucking put American boys, not girls, in the firing line. These are wars of choice. We do not owe one drop of our sons' blood to any of the three places I mentioned.
Brandon, you don't think that there's already troops in Ukraine?
I know there is.
Of course there is.
We don't owe a drop of blood. We have no agreement in place with any of those people. The Ukrainians, who I dearly love. I live there. My friends are over there. The Taiwanese, been there. Great food. Hot chicks. And the Israelis, been there. Hated it. They treated us like shit.
I thought
the Democratic Party was about love and companionship and compassion and no wars. But look at what Potato Joe has done. He's sacrificed.
They're war.
Yeah, of course. Obama drone striked more people than Bush ever did. Trump didn't do anything, and they were more worried about him starting a war.
We were safer under Trump than we have been in how many presidents? No wars.
Trump actually got people talking to.
Yeah, look at the Abraham Accords.
He got them.
He gets no credit for that. You want to talk about international affairs? The Abraham Accords were absolutely a stunning accomplishment. But he gets zero credit for that.
Went to North Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, Obama's first word to him was, you're going to probably have to go to war with North Korea. And he went over and spoke with him. He had a summit with him.
Yeah, just make a deal.
Liberalism.
Well, it's all going to be bankers' wars anyways, and they're financing both sides, so it's a win-win for them.
That's right.
For them.
Follow the money. That's all it comes down to.
Well,
Yeah.
Ape is right. If you follow the money, it comes from here and goes to both sides of this motherfucker.
We're already in war with Russia, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're going to be in this Middle East war. Most likely we'll be in some cartel war. Our nation has been built on wars over the last 100 years.
Yeah, but Rad, we're going to have a war at home with all the best and brightest aren't coming across the border. We're getting criminals. We're getting fighting age males. We're not getting families. We're not getting people who want to build down roots. If you've ever seen the videos, it's you don't see many couples coming across.
No, it's like 80% fighting age males.
That's right. So we're going to have chaos in our own land before we can even send anyone abroad.
I agree.
I'm glad I live in a town of 800 people.
The wars that we do support are just money laundering operations for our own politicians and their cronies. You know, here's your military aid, but you've got to buy from American companies to build your armies. Okay. Don't tell me there ain't no kickbacks going on with that motherfucker. Oh, here's a few hundred shares of Raytheon stock for you. Here's some General Dynamics for you.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be AE.
This war will be sponsored by Pfizer and Raytheon.
Yeah.
Well, you got to make sure all the soldiers are vaccinated because you don't want them getting the coof.
Well, that's what we should send to Israel with some more because they forced I think they're up to their 7th booster. They're trying to kill their population off too. And you can't just go to Israel and become a citizen, although half of our Senate and House have dual citizenship.
That's right.
Well, Grinch says Hamas captured a family in Israel, murdered the daughter in front of the parents. I hope the small hats don't stop. I agree with you. It's their war. Let them fight it and let them finish it. Let them finish it. Don't fucking run in there with these peace accords.
No.
Let them blow the living fuck out of those sons of bitches.
It's been going on since the Moors for 5,000 to 10,000 years from the Egyptians.
It's been going on before that.
It's not. We can't. It's like Iran and Iraq and Syria. This has been a war that's been fighting for 10,000 years. These kids are born with this biological program. War. There's nothing we can do. We can't send Christianity in to fix it.
Nope.
Peace agreements. We're wasting our time. That's their issue. We need to take care. Like Ron Paul said, we need to just take care of our people here. Defend our borders. Canada isn't going to invade. Mexico's not going to invade. We got to save our borders and our airspace.
That's right. That's right. These people respect strength, and in order for us to end, you gotta, as Brandon said, you gotta absolutely destroy them, kill them all. They kill one of mine, I kill 10 of theirs. Like that's how they've been doing it for thousands of years, since the Pharaoh's times. They've been at war with each other.
Well, I haven't been watching any news, but the shorts will come up, just the screenshots of rockets hitting buildings and everything. And all I can think of is how much of this is fake, is old war footage. Remember when they said that, I can't remember what country it was, they were machine gunning people down, and CNN put out
Turkey.
that fake video?
Yeah, that video
from
the shooting range in Kentucky.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
It was a Kentucky machine gun shoot.
Yeah.
So you can't take any of this shit for serious if they say, oh, they bombed this or they shot rockets into here. Who knows? They showed one video that said Hamas was running house to house, raiding houses, killing everybody, and then taking cover in the basements. And the guy that was talking on the video said, look, they all have the same Israeli military uniforms and the same patches on their arms. These are Israeli troops. These aren't, so it's the news will just take a video clip, a snippet of something that doesn't have anything to do with it. It's not relative at all. It's something else, and they'll run with it because they get their walking or their talking orders from Operation Mockingbird.
And the thing is both sides, both the Israelis and the fucking Arabs in this are a bunch of fucking liars.
Of course they are.
They really are. So you can't trust anything you see. Nothing,
When I saw that video of Netanyahu talking to some people at a conference, and he was saying that Israel is going to milk every drop out of the United States that they can, and he had a smile on his face when he said it. Where do we give them $5 million a day?
Well, whatever 3.8 billion divided by 365 is. So
we're giving them millions of dollars a day to a country that absolutely hates us.
Yes.
Saudi Arabia absolutely hates us, but they like our oil money.
Well, yeah. Well, that was one of the reasons Biden stopped all the drilling here.
Yeah, it's $10 billion a day, roughly. 10.1, 10.15.
$10 million a day?
Billion. I mean, yeah, $10 million a day. 10 million.
Right.
Does anybody understand back in I think the 30s, one of the, I don't know, Eisenhower, whoever the hell it was, went to Saudi Arabia and said, you buy our debt, we'll buy your oil. That's why we buy it from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Would you buy our debt, we'll buy your oil. How efficient is it to move tankers 10,000 miles in the ocean to bring it to our shore when we have it already? It makes no damn sense. It's all about the money.
It's the same thing with Canada. The oil sands in Canada. Like there's enough oil in Canada to supply all of North and Central America for like the next 100 years, but they won't drill because they get it from the Middle East.
Yeah, and the Keystone Pipeline got shut down the first day of Joe Tato's what is it, presidency.
Yeah.
I say drill, and fuck the Middle East. And let them all just kill themselves.
Let them all kill each other.
Nothing we can do to stop it. This has been going on for 20,000 years. It's so stupid. We're not going to solve it.
There's exactly right. There's nothing that the whole peace, love, woke issue can do. It's ingrained hatred, and just. You have to let them just fight it out.
Well, they've been kicking sand in each other's face since the beginning of time.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Back from the the Moors in when I grew up in Oregon, Portland had a street called Kilmore. Kilmore. Killmore. There's a Kilmore in probably every city. In Latin America, they have streets called Matamoros, which means Kilmore. The Moors have been, we've been fighting the Moors for 10,000 years. The Moors are modern day Middle East.
Yes.
So I looked up today, Israel's population, 9 million.
That's right.
9 million. There's 40 million people in California.
And yet we will go to the ends of the earth to protect them. For some strange reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, this just tells me that we as men, we don't have a lot of options when it comes to world peace and making things. We have to make sure we have peace within our own households, and we're skilled and we can weather everything that's thrown at us. Literally, if it goes back to the Stone Ages.
Well, I can tell you this, like, in my opinion, you'll see with this new thing going on with Ukraine, now with Israel, now would be, if I was President Z, now would be the time to move on Taiwan, blockade it and starve it. Yeah. Because there's no way that we can. There's no way we can do 3 wars at once. We don't have enough money, or the will, and to be honest, the will to fight it.
We don't have the manufacturing capability to support these proxy wars.
That's right.
But I'll just say this: we don't have the testosterone to fight it.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Brad. You beat me to it. You've got a bunch of gay TikTokers out there in military uniforms with dog masks on, representing our military, the most mightiest military to on this earth. And now look what it's turned into.
Yeah, look what happened when Russia invaded Ukraine, and there was rumors that we might go to war. I'm not going to go. I wouldn't go fight the Russians. I'm not going to fight Ivan. No way.
Exactly. Ivan the Terrible is who you're fighting. These Russians, they've already won the war. There's 500 years of fighting in 0-degree weather, and they still win. Cut their toes off, they'll still kill you. Yeah,
Well,
whoever said Ivan.
As a Cold Warrior, I can tell you the Russians are a bunch of fucking pussies. All you got to do is stand up and fucking push back, and they'll back down.
Yeah, it comes to I think that's why Trump had the respect of Putin, because Putin knew Trump did not mince words. If he said you touch us, we'll blow you up, he meant it.
Yes, but that's what these nations. Yeah, but that's what these nations respect. They respect strength. Like even the Middle East, like if Biden said, like, you're either going to stop this shit or we're going to just bomb everybody, it would stop. Mm-hmm. Like you had none of this garbage going on under Trump. Mm-hmm. None of it.
No. It was the opposite. It was going the opposite direction.
Right.
The only way to beat a bully is to beat the shit out of the bully.
That's right.
You don't send them nice Christmas cards.
No. Iran, the Middle East, all these nations, Russia, Eastern Europe, they respect strength, and we are a laughingstock in the world. Look what the African nations, that president in Ghana and the other president in South Africa, they said America's biggest export now is gay marriage.
Yeah, and they're not wrong.
They're not wrong. And gay rights and gay marriage. Why would we want to deal with them when Russia's offering us money, military training, military aid, technology?
China's building deep water ports in Africa and putting up their own cities run by their own citizens in Africa now.
Yeah.
China's looking to take over Africa for the natural resources.
Oh yeah.
And they're doing it with the new Silk Road project. They're getting these guys so far in debt they can't do anything. They've already had a couple of fucking countries go bankrupt because they couldn't pay their debts to China.
Yeah, because they couldn't afford. They put an international airport in one of these African countries, and they defaulted on the loan. So China took over the airport. Now they have free reign in and out of Africa anytime they want.
Yes.
For God's sake, they got freaking Chinese police stations in New York City.
That's right. New York, Chicago, LA, and I think either in Washington State or where was it? New Mexico.
It wouldn't surprise me in Washington State, with the population of different Asian countries in Seattle. You go to a mall in Seattle, and when you see the restroom sign, it's in English and 6 other languages.
Oh yeah.
It's all types of Asian dialect and Arabic and everything.
But this has been this entire whole immigration thing. This has been by design since the 70s. They've been importing these people. It's all to stay in power and to lower wages, to create just completely wipe out the middle class.
Well, and it's also to they've pretty much got the white European population to quit breeding.
Oh yeah.
Look what MGTOW is, and look at how all of this has all come together.
But they
They're
did it with
making
the,
us boogeyman,
but they did it-
so now they're
they-
bringing in.
yeah.
They want a world population of people that are all the same color mud.
right. But they also did it with Asian countries too. Like the Asian population is just dropping like crazy. They want to dumb down the citizenry, and they want a completely docile underclass.
They want easily manipulated people
Yeah,
that will
it's-
vote for anything you want as long as you gives me that.
yeah. It's to the core. It's insidious and totally evil. And I'm glad I'm 54. I think I'll live to see the collapse, but I won't live to see what happens much further after that.
Well, I'm 51, and I'm just sitting here patiently waiting for the world to go ape shit around me.
Ah,
Pardon the pun, right?
Well, somebody has to throw a stupid joke in here. It is a Brandon Trueblood stream.
It's a shit show out there. We're I say this, it's like I go to these cities for work, the economy doesn't look stalled. But we know it's all a facade, the propaganda out there. If we live in the next 10 years, it'll be very interesting to see where humanity is at that point. Now, I'm not a fatalist in the sense that something's going to happen, but I don't rule it out, right? And we got to take care of. We got to, as men, we've got to put the skill set needed to weather anything, and sit back, have some popcorn.
Yeah, I that's what I say. Let it burn.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I think this has all been by design. I personally think they're going to try to cancel the 2024 election. He's going to come up with I think he's going to come up with some reason to cancel it, like a national emergency. And I think that's when stuff's going to really jump off. That's my opinion.
I agree, Eric. I mean, I think that if they cancel it or something happens to Trump physically, all hell will break loose.
Yeah.
it's gonna be civil war if they try that. We got all the way through World War II and still had elections, and that was a hell of a lot bigger fight than what's going to happen with these guys.
Oh yeah.
Well, the CIA's already killed one president, so they could do it again.
If anything happens to Donald, if he's Breitbarted, all hell break loose. I guarantee it. If he gets in prison, he'll win the election. We know that. But if he goes 6 feet under, the guys that support Trump and patriotism they're done. It's like, you know what? We've had enough.
Oh
People
yeah.
are pissed.
Yeah.
I can tell you that here in Oklahoma, definitely people are furious and just looking for a reason.
Sleeping Giant is awoke.
And it's not just the white folks.
No. Oh
But-
no.
It's predominantly men, and that's where they fucked up.
Thank you, feminism.
You know, I was in the trucker lounge today watching football, and everybody's fucking shitting on Joe Biden.
Huh.
Everybody. So, you know, it was a very multicultural crowd in there, and there was absolutely no love for the potato.
One of my buddies did. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
One of my buddies today got into a little bit of a riff with my work partner that's extremely liberal, and he's a Joe Biden voter, and he'll mop the floor up with you in any debate, he thinks. He got into it with my buddy, who's about as middle of the road as you can be. And he said, well, why do you think that Biden's so bad? What has he done?
Oh my
And
God.
my buddy goes, left $90 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan. And he went fucking ballistic. He said, we've done that in every war we've been in and blah, blah, blah. And my buddy said, well, he could have probably done it better and actually got the troops out of there and brought our stuff home. Well, and this is his response. Well, if Trump was here, you'd just get down on your knees and suck his dick, wouldn't you? That was his response. So my buddy looked at him and said, that's the response you have to this conversation? He turned around and walked away, left him fuming.
He's
Hey, do you know how many of those weapons that were left in Afghanistan have showed up on the southern border and here in Oklahoma?
Tons.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, they were using a pipeline up through Alaska. I heard they were running them through Russia,
Yeah.
into Alaska, and then into the United States.
That was nice of them. Biden couldn't bring them home, so they brought them themselves. That's very convenient. Hey, Rusty, check your fucking text message.
I'll say this though. Speaking of Afghanistan, the Russians lost to the Afghanis, and so did we. I mean,
It's the grave of empires.
they
British lost, Alexander lost, I mean, you name it.
The
I mean,
British, the
everybody,
Indians,
yeah.
the Iranians,
Yeah.
the Russians, us. You know, everybody that goes in there loses it.
Hell, we lost
That's
to the
because
Vietnam.
we're too fat. We can't run up those mountains like they can.
No,
That's why we have helicopters.
And they'd shoot them down with Stinger missiles that we gave them.
That's right.
I mean they could hide a 6'6" guy walking around with a kidney dialysis machine that needs medication every week to keep alive, and they couldn't find him, even if he was real or not. I don't know if he was real. Again, you can't find a 6'6" guy with a dialysis machine in a cave.
Well, we knew where he was. The fucker went to Pakistan, and our ally, Pakistan, was hiding him the whole fucking time.
Of course.
You
Or he
can't
was
tell me that guy living in their fucking so-called military city. You know, that's basically having the guy fucking in Annapolis, Maryland, and the Navy doesn't know where he's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it down the road from there equivalent to West Point or something like that?
Yeah, that whole city is devoted to the military.
Yeah, it's a
That's
military,
their West Point.
basically a military college town.
Right.
Yeah.
What is it? Was it Abbottabad?
Islamabad. My company has 4,000 employees in Pakistan, in Islamabad, and a couple other places, Karachi, and it's amazing that Pakistan is all military government, right? If you know military people in the country, it sets us up for great opportunities because it's a military country, and they've got nukes.
That's right.
Yeah, but those boys play both sides of the fucking fence. You know,
Of course.
during the Cold War, they were unaligned, but they were buying Russian fucking shit. And at the same time, getting fucking aid from us to build stuff. I did one port of call in Karachi, Pakistan. Worst fucking place I ever visited in the whole time I was in the Navy. And it just fucking squalor and stench, and they fucking, you know, disease. They purposely fuck. They purposely fucking. Abe, can you mute yourself? Your phone's doing that thing. They purposely mutilate children to make them better beggars. You know, it's just fucking horrible people in a horrible country, in a horrible fucking part of the world. They got bad weather and bad attitudes and no fucking hygiene. Fuck those guys.
But they do have
Yeah. But it's also so corrupted. Like From 88
Yeah.
to 90, from 88 to 92, the U.S. gave 700 billion between like Pakistan, India, parts of like the Middle East, and like the Gaza Strip and everything. And like I believe when he died, Yasser Arafat was worth something like $680 million.
Jeez,
Was his personal fortune, and like the president, and he had like distributed the wealth among, like they're all corrupt. Like it's just, they play this, they play off on it to enrich themselves, and it's just I say like what you said, Rad. Just worry about ourselves. Let them just wipe each other out and live in freaking the Stone Age.
I think the best to do is literally drop an H2 on them, and then that we would give them, we'd send them to their maker quicker, and then hopefully the next generation would be more peaceful.
Nah, you
But
never.
It's not our war. Why the fuck should we even bomb them?
Well,
No, we can give our shit to fucking proxies, but it's not our war.
It's never going to go away with them. We can't get involved. It's between them and their 10,000-year history.
Right.
And I'm just saying, like, if some dipshit wanted to do that and wipe them all out, which they can. I mean, they can wipe us out.
Well, they're like cockroaches. You're going to bomb some here, but the guys over there in the other country that you didn't bomb, they're going to get pissed. You bomb the ones that you did. You can't fucking win.
No, but that's why, like you said, Brandon, just let them fight. Even if you do a proxy war, they'll still blame you for supplying aid.
Yeah. Well, we're the great Satan, right?
Oh yeah.
I just say we pull like we said, like I was a big Ron Paul guy, just close our borders up. Even Trump was like, we're done fighting foreign wars. It's none of our business.
Of course. And he's right.
Soil.
Yeah.
You don't vote in our elections.
Right. I agreed with Trump. Like, let NATO take care of this. Where's Europe on this? Let them kick in the money. They're closer than we are. They can do more real quick.
We don't owe them. We have an agreement in place because we passed the laws in our own Congress, whether you like it or not, to fund these fucking things. Those agreements are on the books. We don't have to send our troops. We don't have to send, we don't have to directly attack these people. If we were to, I don't know, just let nature take its course over there, they'd thin themselves out. The fighting would not stop.
No. Well, they're going to do what Iraq did. They're going to, once we left, who got back in power, right? We didn't do anything. We tried to police something that wasn't policeable.
Yeah.
See, but that's the trap that all of these politicians fall into. Like, we can go there, we can bring democracy, we can do this and this and this and this. No, you can't, because as soon as you leave, it goes right back. It goes back 150 years, longer even. It's just not going to end.
Why did it work in Germany? Why did it work in Japan? We rebuilt those guys, and they're now moderately fucking friendly to us.
Yeah, but you have to understand something, and this is going to sound a little barbaric. You have a very, very high problem with inbreeding in the Middle East.
Yeah,
and it makes very low intelligence, makes people very prone to violence. It's as horrible as that says. It's something like 40% of every Pakistani family has at one point in their genealogy inbreeding, like brother, sister, cousin. It's crazy. You can't build a civilization on that because it's not logical. You understand? Like, they're not, it's like, yes, there are intelligent people. I'm not saying that, but the majority of them are not. They fall right back into that mindset. I'll send you this thing on it, Brandon. It's really interesting.
Well, I think I probably read it, and I'm not disagreeing with you, Eric. You know, you're not saying anything that I've not also found in my reading.
Like, how do you negotiate with someone that doesn't have a higher level of intellect? And even the ones that do, they get outvoted or they get just knocked off by their own party, and the radicals jump right back into power. That's exactly what happened in Afghanistan. That's what happened in Iraq, Iran, when they killed the Shah. I mean, it's, you know, Iran went from a thriving civilization to Stone Age. I mean, Iran prior to 1979 was booming. Industry,
Yeah,
technology, everything.
they're not actually the Stone Age right now.
No, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like, I mean,
but
Grumman,
also
my friend's father was building F-14s in Tehran. And then when the revolution happened, he got sent to the embassy and made it out like 3 days before the embassy got taken over.
Yep. My grandfather owned a casino in Iran in the 70s. And then whatever happened, the Shah, like there was a war and he lost.
Yeah.
thanks, France. Anyways, the Shah of Iran was a puppet of the British Empire. He was really one of their last vestiges of international intrigue. And he was also bought and paid for. His other main benefactor was Royal Dutch Shell.
Huh.
And yeah, so
That was the last remnants of the West India Company, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
of the Dutch West India Company, yeah.
Yeah. You know, but I don't know. Just crazy times are ahead. But if I was China, now would be the time to put up the blockade and starve Taiwan out. I mean, you really don't even have to land troops.
Yep.
Well, the only reason China doesn't attack Taiwan is Taiwan holds the majority of chip making factories in the world.
Correct. And they'll blow everything up.
Starved, yeah, China would fucking destroy their own economy if they got rid of those factories. And the Taiwanese know this.
Yeah.
And they've got fucking munitions placed around those factories. They'll blow the fuck out of them if the Chinese invade.
See, but the one thing was, and China, there was actually in the late 90s, in the early 2000s, there was some movement toward Taiwan and China, you know, being more peaceable and actually maybe forming, like joining China, but it never came to be.
No, the Taiwanese saw how gracious the mainland Chinese people were when they accepted Hong Kong back into
their
nation. And they said, I don't want none of that.
Yep, not happening. See, it's a double-edged sword for China. They want Taiwan real bad, but they do not want to lose the chip. If they could do it in one night and take everything without losing the chip stuff, they would do it. But they know the cost.
Be very careful who you invade, right?
Oh, if China did try, like from everything that I've studied, they would win, but it would be breathtaking how much they would lose.
They would destroy their whole economy.
They would destroy their whole economy, their entire army. I mean, you're talking at least 300,000-400,000 dead. Taiwan has everything scattered out because they've been planning for this since 1950, 1957. I mean, they conduct drills every year with their own military in the U.S.
Yep.
Mock invasion.
We had a self-defense treaty with Taiwan. until 1980 when Jimmy Carter fucking canceled it because he wanted to be nice to China.
Yes.
Jimmy Carter
Thank
was
you.
worthless.
And what's scary is Biden is actually worse than Carter. And Carter had gas lines. Double-digit inflation, gas lines, remember the old odd and even days?
Yeah.
I just
And
can't.
37% interest on your home loan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Red.
I just can't believe that when I was in high school and even college, earning money, it was not easy to earn money on the wages out there. And I feel like we've been in such a prosperous, easy time for the last 2 decades that it's crazy to see. I mean, just where it's going. I mean, again, hard times make strong men, easy times make weak men, right?
Yep.
And now we're seeing it.
Here's this. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm good.
Well, here's a statistic that is going to freak you out. If you subtract the money we spend on credit cards, later you see, we are actually making less per capita than we did during the Great Depression.
Interesting.
The only reason that people are living as well as they are right now is because of the revolving line of unsecured debt that we have.
Right.
It's unsustainable. Our government does it, and now the whole fucking, the majority of the population, and I mean females predominantly, but a lot of guys do it too, are living paycheck to paycheck and not being able to pay off their credit cards every month.
Yep.
We're fucked, and yet we're sending billions and billions and billions overseas. 2/3 of our fucking $5 trillion budget, 5 trillion with T. 2/3 of that is spent on fucking welfare at home.
Yep.
Non-contributing members of society are sucking the country dry. Businesses who have absolutely no right and no fucking business accepting public largesse are fucking raking it in. Pfizer, Moderna, fucking Monsanto, all these crazy ass fucking windmill farm people, T-Boone Pickins, a goddamn billionaire, is the largest fucking receiver of fucking public largesse in the United States.
T-Boone Pickins, that's a blasphemy.
Yeah.
Natural gas.
Yeah, natural gas and windmills. Remember the Pickens plan?
Yeah.
This is his plan to stick his fucking hand in everybody's goddamn wallet.
T-Boone Pickens. That guy had the weirdest name. I'll tell you what, this is what you tell a liberal that hates gas. Say, until they put a windmill on the top of my car, I got to still buy gas.
Yeah, K-Plan's backing me up on this one. He's read the same thing.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, yeah, it appears that way. I feel like life for me growing up in the 80s, again, born in early 70s, the 80s, my dad's, I think their mortgage was 19%, but the house was what, 50,000, 40,000, but still the wages were 30,000. If you were making 50 grand in 1980, you're doing well.
Yeah. In 1980, the rule of thumb was you're going to spend fucking 25% of your take-home pay on housing. My dad said, you do that, you don't ever spend more than that, and you'll be fine. That leaves you 25% to spend on other things, and you invest the other 50% into your future.
Right.
Whether it's buying land, buying gold, putting it in your retirement fund, whatever. That's the way I was taught to handle my money. You can't do that anymore. You You got people out there that are paying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for rent, and they're not living in fucking the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
You know, how can you invest in the future when you've got to spend 75% of your of your take-home pay to have a roof over your head?
Right. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, at the end of the day, here's another thing: the tax on men that are going through divorce and child support and alimony. I mean, you know, it's sad. We live in a world that's really, it's unsustainable at this point. And I tell guys, it's like, you got to start over again. There's a lot of ways to start over, right? Get out of debt. You got to take care of your obligations, but there's a way to be successful. But yeah, our life today is interesting figures that you guys just shared about the, Great Depression to where we're today. We've got to decide as men to literally live minimalistically and skillfully, right? I look at guys like you and Bower and Batman Forever that's driving trucks and living in your cab and stacking money and being free, and you're free in a lot of different ways, right? You're not anchored to a very expensive apartment or a very expensive house or the utilities that come with it, right? So
yeah, or a bunch of useless shit.
You deliver everything that us dipshits need. But what I'm saying is you've lived out of your truck for a year.
Yeah. It's not a hardship.
One question: how do you wash your clothes? Do you go to a laundromat or do you do it by hand in a bucket?
I go to they have laundry machines in the truck in the truck stops.
Gotcha.
And then Hamster has a really big mouth, so he can fit lots of stuff in there, and he just. So whenever I come to St. Louis, I get the Hamster wash.
They've got these washing machines you can buy off Amazon for like $50, and they run off batteries. But I don't think they can wash your overalls, Brandon.
Probably
your
not.
Socks and your undies. Shit, if I was driving a truck, I'd be wearing my boxers and like flip-flops.
I just figured it out, and my housing and everything that goes with it is about 22% of my income, my take home. So I'm not doing too bad.
No, most people today are buying a house at 70% of their damn take home. I'll tell you a story about my little brother. He knocked up a girl back when he was 21 with a kid, married her, had two others, got divorced, got 10% custody, remarry 6-7 years later, another gal with two kids, gets unsnipped, gets his vasectomy reversed, has two more kids, starts becoming successful like in his late 30s, early 40s. First wife comes back, gets a court order, and he's probably making 150, 175 grand a year, which at the end of the day, after taxes, it's basically 100, right? If not 95 grand. He's got to pay now $4,000 a month. His oldest two, his biological first two daughters are 18 and 20. The court has told him he's got to pay an extra $2 grand a kid. So that's $4 grand for the next 36 months. He's got a family with two little kids now. He just got two new ones that are 3 and 5. He just bought a house. I told him, you bought you bought a house at 7%. That $500,000 home at 7%, you're looking at a $3,200 mortgage. So he's $7,200. Now he's got to take care of everything else and all. The guy's a dipshit. He's literally going to lose everything. And it's unfortunate and so many guys do this because they've got the promise of love. Now he's going through a divorce on his second wife, and he's got to pay for her.
Yep.
He's gonna be living in a cardboard box.
Hell yeah. One of them Whirlpool refrigerator boxes. Yeah.
And he's looking at another gal to marry. It's been 6 weeks. He's dating another gal. I go, dude.
He's got a problem.
Stay away from single mother. You can't fix it.
You got a mental issue there. There's something wrong. Sorry to say.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
You can't fix stupid with him. He's dumb as rocks when it comes to women, and he's the type that'll buy a Land Rover. It'll break down. He'll buy 4 more, thinking the next one will be better. The next one will be better. Get the drift?
Somebody dropped him on his head apparently when he was a kid.
Something.
That's just fucking stupid. Well, what are you doing?
So he'll be 10 grand just in liabilities of knocking women up. People in the
Those
chat
are some pretty expensive orgasms.
$10,000 a month. That's $120,000 a year to take care of 4 kids of 2 baby mamas.
$120,000.
So he's got, just to live. My parents are like, he's not moving back. Just to live, he's going to need at least $200-$220 just for him to buy a $500 piece of shit apartment or rent.
Yep.
This is why we say don't get married, cohabitate, or have kids.
Well, at least if you do get married, don't be so fucking stupid to keep doing it over and over again. I mean, good God. Come on now.
Think about this, hamster. That is the majority of men. They get out of one bad contract, they'll get in another one.
I'm not so sure anymore, though. I'm not so sure.
Don't get married. If you want babies, get a fucking surrogate. You can go overseas and have a kid for $10,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It might be a little, you might have a little fucking Filipino kid or a little fucking kid from Botswana, but it's going to be your kid.
Mm-hmm.
And leave him there.
Jeez.
They say if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't do the surrogate route just because a dad raising kids, some fucking kid, and some Karen down the street will call child services or something. What I would do is when I used to watch Greg Adams, it would be like, have a kid in Dominican Republic or Honduras, and you'd see them 4 or 5 times a year. They'd come up, send a little money down or whatever, but you'd see them more than if you married an American gal, had kids, and got divorced. You'd see your foreigner kids that much more. But I wouldn't do it again. I've got 3 kids, 18, 22, 25. I would not do it again.
Mm.
Not that I don't love kids. It's the risk and the reward and all the bullshit they got to go through in divorced parents.
Mm-hmm. It's always the kids that suffer. Yeah. It's always the kids and the dad, but the kids probably most. Yeah.
There's a light out in each of my kids' eyes. You just tell. I didn't grow up. My parents are still married, 58 years. I don't know what it's like to be a divorced kid, I know what it's like to be a parent of divorced kids, but not a kid that goes back and forth. But that's all said and done because my youngest he went to college in August, and he's living the college life now.
College life. Yeah, my mother was one of the early pioneers, and so she got divorced in 1971.
Wow.
So I grew up without the old man, but we had a bunch of loser fucking stepdads along the way. Trust me on that.
Still
not good.
I got a buddy that his parents, he's a year younger than me. His parents got divorced when he was 10. He's always said, man, I've had digestive issues, stomach issues. And he goes, it stems from that divorce. I didn't have any of that till my parents broke up. He's a successful businessman, but he's always got stomach and digestive issues.
Mm-hmm.
My folks got divorced in 1974, and I'm an only child, so I got to see every TV show growing up. So I was raised by a TV.
Yeah.
You know what they said? You know what my ex-wife said to my youngest? We had told the youngest, he was 10, and the older 2 were 14 and 16. And they kind of had an idea. But the ex-wife told my son, but there's so many divorced kids, you'll fit right in. And my son was so angry. He goes, fuck you, and ran to his room. And she looks at me, and I'm like, well, he doesn't want to have a broken family. So I completely support that. But she made it sound like it was so cool to become from a divorced family because there's so many kids that are divorced.
No. No, I actually feel bad for my step family because the old man got married again. Actually, he was screwing around with his wife, his new wife, when he was still married to my mother. But, my old man was a piece of shit. Let's be honest. But so we spent summers with those people. A couple summers anyway. I can't imagine how much that would have fucking sucked being the kids, home for summer from school, and you got these two fucking strangers gonna move in for 3 months. I would fucking hate that.
Yeah.
I would just fucking hate it. And the old lady, she didn't want to, nobody wanted to deal with it. I understand that.
Right.
So we didn't want to be there necessarily either. Right. So, I mean, it was great to see the old man and everything and, make new friends and everything. But yeah, just moving two strangers into your house, that's tough, So bad news, I think.
Well, Hamster, what are your views on whether the United States is going to engage with fucking Hamas or one of the Hamas proxies like Iran or Saudi Arabia or the Russians?
I haven't thought about it. I was listening to the news about this attack, the surprise attack, in air quotes. It wasn't a surprise. We know that.
No.
The Israelis are very, very aware of what's going on around them. Now, I don't know if they allowed it to happen or maybe it was going to be worse than it did. It was going to be really bad. And now they didn't get everything fixed, so they got it half bad. I don't know. But it wasn't a surprise. That's bullshit. No. You got Mossad out there. They got spies fucking everywhere. Don't give me that crap. Right? Will the U.S. get involved? Like boots on the ground stuff? Probably not. I don't think so.
I hope not.
And
really hope
let's
we
pray
don't
to
have,
God
we don't
Iran
have a
doesn't
treaty
have.
with those sons of bitches.
I know. I was listening to you earlier. Let's pray though that Iran doesn't have their nuke yet, because that could really be a big problem. I think you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they're not going to care about the freedom fighters, so called, in their eyes, because they're just going to be martyrs. They just really hate Israel. So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't think Iran would nuke Jerusalem, but the rest of the country, I think, is fair game.
Well, they're not going to do Jerusalem if they can avoid it, because that's where Muhammad had his night ride and all that. I mean, it's a holy city, right? To Muslims, Jews, and Christians. It's holy to all of us. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. Maybe Tel Aviv or some, God forbid, right? God forbid anything like that happens. But it's getting fucking dangerous out there, boys. It's getting dangerous. And Ukraine, and you're right, the only real treaty we have is with South Korea, because the war isn't really over officially. No. And I was also going to mention, when you're talking about treaties have to be run through that icky process called the Senate, right? So it's going to be a political fight if there's going to be some kind of treaty.
2/3 majority.
Mm-hmm. Super majority. That's right. 67. Yep. So that's problematic. So as we know, governments the past few decades, they don't want to have to deal. The executive branch would rather not have to deal with those pesky little congressional people. Oh my God. And of course, the Democrats, they just bypass everything and just go right to the fucking Supreme Court. That's why they got so pissed about the Trump's appointments. We all know the game there. So I don't know. But you said $3 billion in military aid to Israel from the U.S. Is that what I heard?
3.8. Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, Brandon, that's a rounding error. Honestly, if you've got a $4.5 trillion budget, it's nothing.
Yeah, and a $5 trillion budget, it's nothing. But it's still fucking more than I get.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, we just lost Hemi. Oh no.
Oh, he's here. I see him. Oh wait, I'm on the other page.
Oh no, we lost Rad.
Oh God. Oh Rad, why did you go home? Oh my God.
Oh no.
But no, I don't know.
Hemi hadn't said a fucking word.
Mr. Brandon, The resident of the United States, Brandon, he say we fully support Israel. So what does that mean? Are we going to sell them arms? I doubt if we're going to throw troops in. But hey, follow the shekels, man. I'm sure Israel would love to buy a bunch of new cool toys that go boom boom. And I'm sure we'll be more than willing to sell them.
Steal more of our designs.
There's that.
You know, what the Iron Dome is just modified fucking Patriot missiles, guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, it's a great fucking system. It's all Israeli homemade. Bullshit. The motherfucker. We developed it, and they put some fucking programming in it. Yep. Fuck them guys, man. And they're not paying fucking royalties for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're not ignorant people. But I mean, a lot of other countries do the same shit, right? It's the same thing. Well, it's not really a U.S. thing. It's sort of kind of invented it or whatever. Because I think was it the Saudi F-15 I worked on? I think the Saudis were buying F-15s, but they were going to put their own shit in there, right? So it's a Saudi F-15, and the Israelis buy. Do they have F-35s? I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
They probably do something with the electronics because it has been my experience the Israelis don't really like our electronic shit. They like to do their own. So, and they have the capability. I mean, they have the industry over there that we can do that. So, yeah. So I don't know. Well, I mean, that was the story during one of the Arab-Israeli wars. I don't know if it was the 60s or 70s where we shipped them over this brand new fucking missile that no one had ever seen before. And they were just destroying whoever was invading them, and they didn't know what and it was from the U.S. It might have been Carter that sent them over. I'm not sure. I'd have to go into the details, but yeah. So we've always sent Israel certain weaponry, for sure. So.
Yeah. Well, Israeli has the largest F-16 fucking force in the world besides the United States.
F-16s?
Yeah.
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 Yep.
They've got hundreds of them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I mean, it works great. Why do you need a new one? You know, just keep reusing what works. So there's no problem with that. So, and when they lose support from whoever makes the F-16, is it Lockheed? I don't know who makes it, but whenever that it goes, what do they call it? End of life, which I don't think it is. That'd be silly because it's only 50 years old or something. Why would it go end of life? They can make their own shit, right? They got their own engineers that can come up with stuff. So,
yeah.
Anyway,
it's a great design. That's why they keep.
It is a great design. Yeah. I can't remember if that might have been Grumman that did the F-15.
I think it is Grumman.
Yeah, might be Grumman. Yeah.
They make them in Fort Worth.
Do they? Wow.
Yep.
And it was designed somewhere in the early 70s, wasn't it? Early to mid 70s, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
It was the lessons learned from Vietnam airplane.
Okay. Well, we had the F-4 Phantom, which was a hell of an airplane. And I think I think Iran still flies the F-4s, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Iran flies 14s, but yeah.
Is it they're up to 14 now? Okay.
Yeah. And JR is saying that you farted.
I didn't fart.
So, JR said so.
Okay, well, it must be true then.
It must be true.
Mm-hmm.
So. Oh, Ham Star farted. There's somebody else. Hey, Ape, did you know that you have a fan? You have a fan here.
Like ceiling or box?
No, I'm talking about Ass-agape Ape.
Who knows who that's probably one of my friends, so-called.
You have a friend? Oh, well, good.
So-called.
Well, what you guys are talking about before, aside from the war talk, if I might interrupt, go ahead though if you have a different point.
No, you go ahead.
Talking about the housing and the money and the cost of shit. I mean, you look at like a brand new Ford 250 or whatever. It's $100,000. Hamster farted, I sharted. Okay, well, at least I didn't shart. Well, not today anyway. So part of the problem with the housing, of course, we talked about it earlier, is the real estate people love having a lot of single women out there because everybody has to have their own fucking house, right? So they love that shit. They're trying to sell more houses. And, well, there's more customers right there. Additionally, excuse me, additionally, you have these investment companies buying hundreds and thousands of houses as investments, driving the fucking price up. I think maybe there's some room there to, and I hate to get the government involved if you don't have to, but something's fucked up, man. Something's fucked up.
Well, I have a feeling that
Pretty good
if the
fucking
government,
secretary. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have a feeling that if the government wasn't involved and we didn't have cash and prizes for bad behavior, that the housing would go through a bubble cycle and the value would decrease because you couldn't afford to be a fucking single mom anymore.
Mm.
You couldn't afford, not to have, the nuclear family. You just couldn't
Right.
fucking live on your own.
Right.
They'd either be going home to their mom and dad's. God forbid, I got 2 daughters. I hope that doesn't ever fucking.
Throw them in the back with the freight. They'll be fine.
Yeah, and Jesus, it would be a bloodbath financially, but we need to make that a type of adjustment. Because shit's just too fucking. I feel sorry for guys that are fucking real estate investors, but the shit's too fucking high. It's not sustainable. Wages have not kept up with the fucking price of living. We're fucked.
I mean, whoa, somebody's got a weird mic there.
Oh, Aiden's phone fucks up. He needs to shut it off and come back. Do a hard reboot on that son of a bitch, man. It's it's fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, I was going to say I make a pretty good salary. It's not bad. Not getting rich, but it's all right, comfortable. I couldn't buy a house in fucking Denver. I couldn't afford it. I mean, Denver. I mean, come on. Your starting houses are $500,000, and that's for a shithole. It's insane. I mean, anywhere where you'd want to live, you could probably get something on Colfax for less, but you don't want to live down there with the hookers and shit, right?
No.
So the price inflation. Well, yeah, that's true. But the price inflation in St. Louis proper, the city and county of St. Louis, I don't think is going crazy. Some parts of it are, right? The more ritzy parts are going through the fucking roof. The suburbs here getting higher and higher and higher. But I mean, you got an 8%. Now the mortgage rate's 8%. What? 8%?
Yeah.
That's like fucking Ronald Reagan type 1980 stuff. Jesus.
And it doesn't make any sense in a place like St. Louis, which is experiencing negative growth.
Right.
Why the fuck is the price of housing going up when the value of the fucking town is going down? Industry is moving away.
Well, there's probably some speculators going in and buying a bunch of, let's be honest, not the best conditioned housing. And they're going to tear it down and, what do they call it? You know what it's called. I can't think of it. Gentrification.
Yeah. Well,
they're going to go in there and build new high rises and all that shit and all that. I'm going to go ahead.
I think it's along the lines because of inflation. It's maintaining its value, but the price looks like it's going up because the value of the dollar has gone down so much.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But I mean, I know in Florida, for example, from recent experience, the price of housing is out of fucking control. Unfucking believable. And the property taxes have just gone out of control. And the insurance has gone out of control in Florida. It's a fucking nightmare. If you're a family, new family, young family, forget it. It's not happening. You're living in a trailer house if you can find one. It's pretty crazy.
I know a
Not that
guy.
there's anything wrong with a trailer house. I mean, you can get a nice trailer house for $100K, maybe, nice, real nice. But I mean, it's a 1968 model. right? Well, how long you expect it to last? Really.
Well,
So.
I know a guy that inherited just the plot in the Villages. He
Yeah.
inherited a fucking trailer plot in the Villages from his parents when they died.
Yep.
$250,000 for a fucking piece of concrete and some water and electric hookups.
Mm-hmm.
For a fucking piece of concrete on a fucking 1/10 of an acre.
Yep.
What the fuck?
No, yeah.
And then he had to fucking sell it because he couldn't pay the fucking inheritance taxes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I told you the federal government put a lien on my mother's house because her last week or two alive, they were paying her hospital bill, and so they want to get that back. So, I mean, what do you pay all these taxes for your entire fucking life, and your Social Security, and all the fucking Medicare, and all the shit, and then when you die, they come back and put a lien on your fucking property? Excuse me? What the fuck was I paying for? It's insane.
Gimme.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any final thoughts, Hamster? Because we're going about a half hour past where I was going to take this.
I'm good. Thank you, Brandon, for the invite, and good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving, Hemi.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed your turkey. He's probably sleeping. He probably fell asleep.
Thank you, gentlemen. No, I'm wide awake. Listening to y'all.
Wide awake. Speaking of being wide awake, I'm going to be driving starting around midnight Central Time. So
I saw that. So you had your official. You had enough of a break, and then you can start driving again.
Yeah, I'm officially quote unquote sleeping right now. So.
Okay. All right then. Okay.
All right.
Well, take it easy, guys. Talk to you later.
Peace out. And if we go to war, hide your sons.
Exactly. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Remember, no marriage, no cohabitation, no children, and make the hamsters clean their own fucking cages.
It's about time they did that. Damn it.
Damn it.